Hello, this is Corvallis Tidbits. I was just reading A Dog's History of America, and my buddy Darwin here with me, and I just want to talk a little bit about one of our sponsors first, smart-bookmarks.com. They've been sponsoring several of our videos, and believe it or not, they gave me some of their bookmarks, and appropriately enough, a dog bookmark for my book on dogs in America. I'm going to talk a little bit about the debate last Wednesday, the League of Women Voters at the Corvallis Public Library. There are three candidates on the Democratic side for Benton County Commissioner, replacing the vacancy from the retiring Linda Boudreau. The three candidates are Quintin Kreth, a young 21-year-old from down in the Monroe area, Pat Malone, 66, a tree farmer, and Ann Schuster, a retired scientist and currently on the Corvallis School Board. The League of Women Voters debate was the third in a series of debates, the first being by the Gazette-Times, the second, the Benton County Democrats, and this one. A couple of points. His name is Craig Allen, and I've known Craig for a while, and Craig asked me an interesting question. Which candidate do you like the best? Well, my response was, actually, I like them all. The question is, which candidate is the best fit for the commissioner's job? The questions at the debate were fairly typical of what you might find. Asking about budget, asking about the environment, asking about how they would look forward and what the function is of the government of the county. But there's a little bit more than that. I take a look at each of the candidates and say, they're all good people. They all have significant qualifications. The question is, which candidate is the best fit? Well, the young fella, Quintin Kreth, 21, pretty dynamic young individual. Pat Malone, seasoned person, had quite a bit of life experience, and has run a tree farm for more than 3 decades. Ann Schuster, retired scientist, and has 9 years of experience in the Corvallis School Board. All seemingly good qualifications. But it boils down to how do you make a judgment and decide who you're going to vote for on the Democratic side. One item that's sure to raise everyone's interest is the potential for building a new jail in Benton County. The current jail was built in the 1970s as a quick stopgap measure, and we're still using it some 40 years later. So how do we afford everything we want? But what do we really need? Those are the questions that need to be answered. One of the questions that was brought up was also, how is Benton County working with and collaborating with the city of Corvallis? A lot more needs to be done in the IT area, in the human resources area, in the transportation area. More work has to be done to work together in the future. That's something any of these candidates, or the successful candidate, will need to realize. Perhaps people don't vote as regularly as one might expect them to, because there are no burning issues. But there are some issues of great concern for the county. It was brought up in one of the questions at one of the earlier debates. Looking out 5, 10, and 20 years, the financial health of the county is very strained. There's either going to have to be higher taxes or severe cuts in service. Typically, the voter turnout is not very high for off-year elections. But if you care about Benton County and you care about what happens in Benton County, then it's your obligation to vote. Well, it's my judgment that the best fit is Pat Malone. Pat brings a certain steadiness, a certain maturity, and he has the ability to work with people, how to listen to people to get something to work. This week's program is sponsored by Smart Bookmarks. When reading real books still matters to you. Available at smart-bookmarks.com. Thank you for watching. If you like us, then subscribe to us on YouTube, Instagram, or Twitter. This is Corvallis Tidbits.